All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an impromptu video, guys. Because I wanted to make this video out because I have had a lot of people ask me about. People want to know about the Dani Olmo situation that I've been talking about, and why is there's been a lot of buzz when it comes to Dani Olmo, in the January transfer window and everything else. Basically, guys, this is just a simple short explanation that I'm trying to make, basically to explain to you guys what the Dani Olmo situation is like, basically, guys. So as of December 31st, Dani Olmo will be officially unregistered as a Barcelona player. Now, the reason why that is because basically, because of our financial situation and La Liga salary cap, we only registered Dani Olmo because of some injury players, i.e. Andreas Christensen's basically injury and long-term injury being out meant that we were able to basically find a loophole to basically comply with the regulations of La Liga because of that, and that's how we were able to register him. If you guys remember, he didn't actually play in the first 3 games, I think, for us, and he was basically he wasn't registered in our first 2 games against Valencia and against Athletic Bilbao. And that was the reason why. So after the whole Christensen injury and basically him being out for so long, ended up meaning that we were able to register him and unregister Christensen temporarily until Christensen was back fit. And as you all know, Christensen is going to be returning, and basically the salary cap always changes every single year. So basically now in January, Dani Olmo would be officially unregistered as a Barcelona player, which basically means on paper he is available to leave the club on a free in January. And I know there's been a lot of talk coming out in the media, and that's where basically I wanted to explain. However, what that means is that Dani Olmo in January can basically talk to any club. He can sign for any club on a free. He can leave the club and go anywhere he wants, right? And as far as, that whole thing is concerned, you've seen there's been a lot of buzz. You've been hearing like a lot of news coming out of Spain and other areas. Apparently, they're saying that United, Dani Olmo's agent has been in Manchester and all of that. However, I'm not really too worried on a regular basis, because when it comes to Dani Olmo, he specifically requested to return back to Barca. It was his choice. He wanted to return back to Spain. He wanted to return back to his homeland, to where he lives, and he's determined to succeed here. He's someone who's basically made it very clear that despite all of the issues that we have right now with the financial situation, he's not worried. He believes that the club have given him assurances that he will be registered by the end of the transfer window. And he does believe in the club, and he does believe he wants to succeed at the club. And honestly, when it really comes down to it, on a personal basis, I feel like these are all just paper talk when it comes down to Dani Olmo's situation at Barcelona. I don't think Dani Olmo, we are in any risk of losing Dani Olmo. I think that we won't be seeing Dani Olmo in the Copa del Rey. We might not even see him in the Super Cup, all right, with everything that is happening. I don't think we will. But I think we will sign him up. We will give him, because here's the thing. Don't be surprised if in January we do decide to get rid of players. Now, you've been hearing like a lot of talk, like you've been seeing us being linked to Jonathan Tah, who's someone I've been talking about recently on my channel. He seems like he's gonna be joining us, and because of that, basically it means that there's a lot of our defensive positions, a lot of risk is out there. Players like Eric Garcia, players like Christensen have been basically look like they're on their way out. And if we are to sell one of those 2 players, Eric Garcia or what's his name, Christensen, if we're able to sign one of those 2 players, if we're to be able to sell one of those 2 players, that would basically mean that the salary cap will be open for us to register one of the players, which is Dani Olmo. Now, the reason I said one of the players is because we know it's not just Dani Olmo who will be unregistered after December 31st. He's the biggest profile one, but the other one is Pau Victor. And you've seen that Pau Victor has actually been linked outside of the club on loan, like Ria Batista trying to basically get him on loan for the rest of the season. Honestly, for me, I'm open to the idea. I don't mind, letting him go out on loan. He's not exactly a starter for the club. He's a top player, has a lot of potential. I think he can succeed at the club. But, he still has a lot of time. So I'm open to the idea of sending him out on loan. When it comes to Dani Olmo, he needs to be back in the team because him being there, him being fit and being in the team, he's one of our key players. And I think he understands that. And I think he will be patient at the end of the day. So I'm not worried when it comes down to it, right? I just wanted to basically just make an explanation. So Dani Olmo, as of in the next 4 days, he will be unregistered as a Barcelona player officially. So in January, you will not, unless something crazy happens before the beginning of January, we will not hear anything basically. He will not be playing. Now, this is something I needed to add before I go. Because of everything that's been happening, Barcelona basically, because we are signing a deal with Nike, Barcelona had agreed something with La Liga's president where basically we would have been able to sign Dani Olmo and register him because of the money we'll be getting from the Nike deal. But apparently La Liga clubs have basically went against it and they're all basically trying to fight us, stopping us from doing that. And as a result, Barcelona now have taken La Liga to court, and now we're apparently going to be hearing the verdict tomorrow. So I will be giving you guys a full update on that tomorrow, guys, by the way, as far as that whole thing is concerned. There's going to be a verdict coming out soon, right? We will see what happens. And listen, at the end of the day, we might not even need to sell any players if the verdict comes our way. We might be able to use the money we get from the Nike contract to basically give to basically register Dani Olmo and Paul Victor. And that happens, good news for us, right? But at the end of the day, we will see what happens with that. But if that doesn't work, then we're more likely to see one of the key players in the defense leave, right? I think, honestly, I think Eric Garcia, maybe, who knows, maybe in January, maybe clubs might be after him. Maybe Girona might decide to come back in for him. Christensen has been linked outside the club, right? Newcastle have been looking at him. A lot of my Chelsea fans are very open. They're open to return to seeing him come back. I don't know if the club are, but at the end of the day, if one of those players goes, then Dani Olmo will be registered. But yeah, I just wanted to just go into detail about the whole situation with Dani Olmo, basically to explain what is happening at the club. Basically, he's just not going to be registered. And because he's not registered, he technically can leave the club on a free in January. And listen, at the end of the day, clubs will try their best, but I'm very confident that he will stick around, honestly, in my case. But yeah, guys, let's have a quick video I wanted to basically make, just explaining the Dani Olmo situation and the unregistering and basically what that means as far as, the future of his time at the club means. But basically, guys, make sure, let me know what you guys think about basically the whole Dani Olmo situation. Make sure you guys like the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And like I always say every time I end these streams, Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya, and peace, you guys. Take care.